In the following video, we'll see how we can register employees in the retail shop system. First, we're going to go to the employees datasheet. This is where we'll be loading all of our employees. So we press add, we assign an ID number for the employee. It could be whatever you want. I'm gonna use this just for an example. There are some optional information that you can use, which is date of birth. You must enter a name, so I'm gonna use this one as an example. You can set up a telephone, an address, a starting date, whenever the employee started working at the establishment, payment method, or you can just enter the amount of the salary. You can add observations. You can write here whatever you want related to the employee. You can also upload a photo and print a very simple ID card for your employee. But you have specifically you have to assign a position to the employees. This position is going to be whatever the role is in the establishment for this specific person. So you can select of the many options you have here. I have, for example, a tech support person, a cashier, a storage clerk, but if I need any other position, I can always come and click on the red arrow button, and it's going to load up a new form. This is the employees position form, which you can find in the very same menu as the employees module. So we can add a description. This can be the manager. We have to assign a default access level. Now we have to consider and we have to be very aware that the access levels are going to control what an employee can and cannot do in the point of sale. Meaning, this is going to give me access to a number of operations I can perform while I am invoicing a product. It is recommended, strongly recommended, that you assign the maximum level only to your support technician or a very reliable person inside the organization. So for this example, for the manager position, I'm going to choose level 4, so he can access most but not all of the operations that we can carry out in the point of sales. We can also set up a default payment method, which is again how this person is going to collect its salary. It can be hourly or daily, weekly, monthly, however you want to set it up. And there comes another very important point to be aware of, which are the user rights. These user rights are going to control what that employee, what the person with this position inside the organization can and cannot do or see inside the back office. So access level is for the point of sale, invoicing, and user rights, which is this small button with a lock on it, is going to relate to what we can or cannot do inside the back office. So if I click on this, yet another form is going to appear, but this form is going to contain every single item of the back office. As you can see, the The expandable options are the main menus of the back office, such as configuration, invoicing, products, and many others. And we can also look at a small list that we have below, which are additional operations a person can perform in the back office in order to complete some procedures. And what we need to do is, if we're going to grant access to all of these options inside the back office, we can press select all. The system is going to tick on every single option, even those that are contained in the expandable menus. We can also uncheck them all and just select the options that we want to grant access to. I'm going to give you a little example about this. Like I said before, the highest access should be given only to very reliable people in the organization. So if this were the case, I must only set up the configuration menu to be visible for this sort of people. However, ticking on the configuration option is only going to allow that person to see the name of the menu. As you can see, all of its options, all of the other operations contained inside that menu are not going to be visible. So there will be nothing for him to do as much as he ticks this option up here. So if I want to grant access to the configuration as a whole, or maybe just some of the configuration options, I must tick them one by one. Or maybe I'll just tick the ones that I feel comfortable giving my employee access to, which can be for example, the database maintenance, maybe coins, or a logo charge. It's up to you. For this example, for this management example, I'm going to select everything except the configurations, because this is a very delicate part of the menu, which should only be handled by the support technician. So doing this, as you can see, I selected everything, so everything is selected. If I were to only choose invoicing, as you can see, I have access to the point of sale, I have access to everything that I can do inside a product, and so on. So I press accept. The system is going to load all this information inside the database, and so every single position has their user rights set up, also their access levels set up as well. So I can just choose any of these positions to assign to my employee, and also grant an access code for them to enter either the point of sale or the back office application. So I'm gonna use these 3 numbers, but as you can see, we also have those user rights right here below. This is because we may have people that we trust a little more or a little less inside of organization, and sometimes the user rights that we set up in the employee's position are not enough. So we may want to grant permission to a little bit more, or maybe remove permissions from a specific employee. However, like I said before, we can select all, we can just select a few, but I can also inherit all this information from the employee's position. This would be all those options that we selected before when we were creating the employee's position. So I would just need to click on this button and say yes when the system prompts for a confirmation, and it will start looking inside the database all those options that I ticked for the employee's position and load them up here. So it makes our job way easier. As you can see in this position that I selected here, which is a storage clerk, I had configured only for this person to handle the products, but not all of the options for these products, only whatever is related to the inventory, entries, exits, loading up the products, the prices, as many as I choose to, and according to the functions of this person inside the establishment. So we can just save up all this information and we're finished charging our employees inside this module. However, in this second tab called All, we can do a search. We can start searching by the name of the employees, and it'll start searching for it in a very sensitive manner. As soon as you enter the first key, it'll start filtering all the people whose names start with that letter. So it is a very handy piece of information. All of that we can charge up in here, and so that'll be it for you to load up your employees' information. So you have to be very wary of the access level. Once again, I repeat this: access level for the point of sales, user rights for the back office, so you can control very well what your employees can or cannot do inside the system. And this is very important because you're handling a merchandise and you're selling and buying stuff, and you need to have all of these things handled by responsible people. And also this will give you a chance to control everything a little bit better when it comes to what people can and cannot do inside a system like this.